Hello, my name's Andrew, and today we're doing a first impressions review of the vibram V-NEOP, aka neoprene. So these also come in black, and these were the first ones that Vibram sent me, but actually they run a full size long, so I'd probably size down in these if you decide to get a pair. But I'm also going to be doing a giveaway with the large pair, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to do another post about that when the full review goes up with all the fancy footage and stuff like that. But for now, just talk about the features and testing that I've done with it so far. So essentially, the V-NEOP is like a wetsuit for your foot. It's made out of completely neoprene material, and the top is very stretchy, so you can just slide your foot straight into there. And you can wear these barefoot, which is really great. You can wear any barefoot shoe barefoot for the most part. But I really like this because it's a stretchy material and it's meant to be close to your skin versus some other shoes that can kind of like rub a little bit, which I don't really like. But yeah, you know, it's colder. You can wear a couple pairs of Injinji merino wool toe socks, which work great as well. I've gotten it down to like 40 degrees. So it's a pretty versatile shoe. Looking at the toe box, it's got Vibram's typical toes up there, and it's got like a wide shape. But then when you spread the toes out, it becomes extra wide. So that's one thing I really love about Vibram. And then I also just love like the flexibility of the toes, you know, because like human beings don't have club feet, right? We have separate toes, and the separate toes are meant for feeling the ground and giving us more agility and stuff like that. So Vibram is definitely my favorite feel in terms of barefoot shoes. It's got some double stitching here just for reinforcement, which is great. And then on the sole, it is 4 millimeters. And it is ultra flexible. Like you can twist this multiple times like that in every direction. And this is one of the best ground feel shoes that I've ever tried. And another thing that I really like about it is if you look closely, you can see it just looks flat when you look at it. But then if you open it up, isn't that crazy? You can see that it's actually micro cut. So it's even more flexible than it seems. And it's a very tough sole. Vibram has the toughest rubber in the world. They've had the toughest rubber in the world for, I don't know, decades, ever since they came out with it. And there are other brands that are kind of catching up. Vibram, or Vivo Barefoot, is pretty good as well, but nothing's gonna beat the grip of Vibram and the toughness, which is, yeah, another thing I like. They've also cut some minimal lines into here, and this is gonna give you a little bit of traction going up and down hills. I mean, I wouldn't use it on like a steep, muddy hill, but it was actually pretty impressive. I was going down some like grassy hills and hills that were covered in moss. So as long as there's some texture, actually barefoot toe shoes, even if they don't have a tread on them, can grip really well because your toes sort of like individually go down into the terrain in front of you and then hold you from slipping. And same thing for going up. So they felt really amazing for hiking. They felt really amazing for running, especially. As long as you're just, like I said, as long as you're not doing super steep stuff. But the sole, even though it's 4 millimeters, like it's still very tough. You know, you get a ton of protection with Vibram, which I love. So I kind of, when I got these shoes, I thought because they were like a wetsuit material, they might be like waterproof or very, you know, close to waterproof, but you know, my dreams were shattered again. This is the only thing that I don't like about Vibram is that unfortunately, like the water will get in here, but I will say that they are better than my V-Trex, which have a thinner material. I guess I don't have them close to me, but anyways, they've got like a thinner wool material, and as soon as you step in water, it's just like instantly your feet get completely wet, which is not a problem normally, like if it's warm outside, but if you're using these when it's down near like 35, 40 degrees and your toes get instantly wet as soon as you go out onto a muddy trail, like it's a problem, you know, because your toes can start to get freezing. But they made it halfway through a muddy field before they started to soak in, so it was pretty good, you know. I mean, if you do your best to avoid super muddy, wet spots, you know, they're pretty good. I took them creek walking because it's starting to warm up. I have a nice creek with some rocks and stuff like that near my house, which is great. And I like them a lot more than any other barefoot water shoe I've tested because they keep stones out a lot better. Like the Vivo Barefoot, what is it called? The Aqua something, I'm forgetting, but it's the one that looks like Swiss cheese. I tested it. I didn't really like it. It was very stiff. It was nothing like this, you know, so it just wasn't that comfortable to walk around in. And because it has all of those little holes, like little stones and stuff get in there and they start like rubbing on your feet. So that was really annoying. One thing I will say, and maybe this is a feature that Vibram could add in the future, and you can probably DIY hack it, but I just wish that they had like a drawstring up here on the top, because if you do go into like deep water that goes over the top of the shoe, you can get some like little stones going there. But I mean, fortunately it's really easy to take the shoe off just because it's a slip-on. And you can get those for winter. You know how you can get those like bungee things that you can put around they're kind of like pant cuffs. So I think if you got a pair of those, then you can kind of close off the top here and you wouldn't have that problem. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a very big problem. But overall, I really like them. This is my favorite ground feel of any Vibram shoe. I like the V-Trek just for having a little bit more traction on muddy hills because it's got a little bit more grip to it. But yeah, overall, really loving the V-NEOP. I don't know, it just sounds really funny to say. It's like, I don't know whether I should say V-NEOP or V-NEOP, but either way, a really good shoe, and I'm looking forward to testing it more in different conditions. I even took it to the track and it was great as well. I mean, it's great as a road running shoe. It's great as a lightweight trail shoe. It's great as a water shoe. You could probably swim in them. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I need to go to Hawaii and test them out. But yeah, all positive thoughts for me so far. One thing that I want to mention before we wrap up is that they actually come with a pair of insoles, interestingly enough. And so this would add a little bit of warmth, a little bit protection if you need it for the winter. It just gets your foot a little bit more off the bottom of the shoe. So if you got water coming through on the sides or in through the toes, could help a little bit. But generally, I think they feel amazing just to wear without socks and without insoles. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as I test them out more. And if you want to test them out yourself, you can use the link below for 15% off automatically, Vibram 5 Fingers. And if you have any questions about the V-NEOP or Barefoot shoes in general, you can let me know in the comments. And if you want to browse more Vibram shoes or Barefoot shoes, you can check out my website, barefootwear.org, and there's a shoe finder feature where you can filter by width and materials and use case and all that kind of stuff. Or you can watch my zero drop transition video to learn more about barefooting. So yeah, that about sums it up, but thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.